Oh yeah,
tomorrow.
what are you guys shooting content?
New studio content. I'm
Cool.
meeting with this guy named Antonio who knows Pace Morby. So it's gonna be we're gonna collaborate and then we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, I've talked to Base Morby a couple times. He's just
Yeah,
here in Phoenix,
I
but
want to
it'd be
see if I
dope.
can if I can get on a thing on his podcast or something, right? So we're gonna be working with them, and I'm gonna be doing a interview with. We're gonna basically have a discussion about real estate, probably wholesaling, most
Nice.
likely. That's right, Antonio, and his name is Antonio.
Sweet. Dang, we got people rolling into your Instagram. What is up, people of the
Yes.
world? I like that. Actually, I got to share the link out there, Gino. But why don't you say hello and kind of get this thing started?
Yeah, for sure. So welcome to Credit Leverage X weekly live calls. We talk about
Yeah, we
money and
need a cooler name for this. The
yeah,
fucking Wednesday money brain dump or
yeah.
something. I called it
Wednesday.
financial news today, actually, which I think is kind of
Oh
funny.
yeah.
So.
Well, it's like it's how money works, right?
Right. That's
We
what we
got
keep saying.
we gotta realize, being educated, and I'm learning every day about money and how it works, and there's always new things that we don't know about. So we try to share that with you as soon as we learn something. I think one thing I got from yesterday when because I did I was doing some reading and stuff, and I realized, look, giving people back as much value as possible, and really, I want everybody to know what I know. Like, there's no reason that you guys should not do what I do, and
Right.
it's like, and that's the reality. The reality is, the goal is not to keep information or to say, hey, join Credit Leverage X and then you can get the information. No, the information is available for you. It's out there. We just help you do it for you, and we help you get it done. And what we do is we teach you, right? We teach you how to get access to money, and that way you can do this every single day for the rest of your life, so you never have to be without money. And we want
Yeah.
you to be able to use that and use it every day for your friends and family. So we're building a community. We're excited to build it with you. Every person that joins Credit Leverage X, they're our partners. They're our friends, they're family, they're everybody that's involved, and we actually build relationships. We don't just build communities and we forget about them. That's not what it's about. It's about building communities that actually work together, that help each other, that want to grow together, and the movement is real. And
Yeah.
Credit Leverage X is alive, and it's doing well, and it's exciting. So I'm looking forward to the future of this company, and the future of everybody that's in that groove of learning, educating, and becoming better and making more money. And we're all together. We'll learn from each other, and that's the beautiful part.
Look at that. We got the little
So
banner. We're fancy now.
yeah,
But I liked I liked what you were saying before we hopped on. Is like we're educating people on money, and like I was just thinking about like my whole education on money has been very interesting. It's like obviously everybody wants money, but the more we get into this game, bro, it's like now I know money on a very personal level. Like accounting, leveraging,
credit.
investing, saving. Like there's levels to understanding money, right? It used to just be sales, right? I knew how to get money because I would get money from other people if I sold them something of value, right? And now it's like money is a whole nother thing, and it's a weird concept because it's like a man-made thing for value.
Yeah,
I was actually researching stuff to make shorts of all things, and I was understanding how money is used in America, and it's so stupid. What happens is the Federal Reserve, they print the money, dude. It's not even printed anymore. It's just like a number on a keyboard, and then they lend it to the U.S. government, right? The U.S. government, so the U.S. government borrows the money. This is why we're $34 trillion in debt. So they borrow the money from the people who print the money, and then they give it to us, and supposedly it's our fault that we're not able to pay it back, right? So the whole finance game is kind of dumb in a way, but at the same time, it's the way that our economy works, and it's the way that we do it. And I don't know, it's just an interesting thing. The more you learn about how the
yeah,
U.S. works and everything.
yeah. I mean, the money is printed for sure, and the flaw is this. The flaw is the fact that they continue to print money because they don't
Yeah. Oh man. But no, I thought it was like just weird that we print money and then loan it to ourselves.
Well, because the best way to get money is to the best way to get. You should be using a. here's a reality. Don't use your money like cash money on hand. Use the money that you have as a loan. So what you do is you get the money and you take a loan. That's what the U.S. government does that, because they are doing exactly what the rich and famous do. They don't live off actual income, earned income or revenue. They
They
live
live off
off
debt.
of debt.
Yeah,
I live
which
off
is
debt.
crazy.
I love living off debt, and I'm free because of debt. Thank God for debt.
Thank God for debt.
I'm gonna need more debt. I want more debt. Give me more
That's so
debt.
weird.
I want more debt. The more debt I can get, the more happier I am. The more money I can make, the more I don't have to work.
Right.
Right.
It's just a weird.
So
It's a weird
I
thing
love.
to do that.
You know,
You know.
I am a debt consumer.
Yeah.
And, if you're a consumer, you should be a consumer, but in the right. You have to be consuming the right information.
Right.
Right.
You want to be in debt with the right kind of debt, not the wrong
And
kind of
when I
debt.
say consumer, like you want to consume like houses, you want to consume like life insurances, you want to consume like
Businesses.
books,
Yeah.
businesses.
Education.
Like you want to consume all this
Assets.
information, assets. Can be start eating the right food, assets versus eating McDonald's or going to a restaurant and spending thousands of dollars or whatever,
Right.
and and spending money on things that you don't need. Honestly, going to a traditional school is good still, but it built the foundation of being a good citizen. But
Yeah.
in order to be able to make money, you got to take it to the next level. So let's get into that.
Should we bust out the questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Let's hit up these questions. So these are questions that people ask us, and we revert back to them. Again, if you guys want to send us questions or have us go over something, send us a DM. Also, if you want to join Credit Leverage X, check out creditleverage.com. We got all kinds of cool stuff got going, rolling. All right, cool. So number one, Gino, what do you think are the skills that people should learn to get rich? Like what are the things that people need to learn or that they should focus on to become wealthy or rich?
Well, I think we kind of talked about it earlier. Is like you understand how money works and what
Yeah.
money is used for, right? I think that in order to be rich that's one thing. It's not about I can make money and I can do some labor and create some income. That's not the only way you can make money. There's other
Right.
ways to make money. You can use money as a tool. What it's used, what it's meant for. It's think about it, it's not a piece of paper that you just count and you just give out one by one. It's also it's like a promissory note, right? It's a dollar. This piece of paper says, I promise you I'm worth $1.
Right.
I promise you I'm worth $1. It's a certificate, and that with that dollar, you're going to exchange it for some value. But the value that you get, it has to be able to be multiplied. Don't exchange it for something that's consumable that's going to go away, right? It's going to just disappear, poof, into thin air. You want to use the money to invest in assets that make you more money, and that's really the reality. Learning how money works is the biggest thing that will help people get the skill sets in order to become rich. And in order to become rich, you need to understand how money works, how investments work, and how to get the money without having to have to work for every penny of it. That's how rich.
It's like how to raise capital or how to get fundable, right? It's like an actual skill. I feel like, I mean, the more we learn, it's definitely a skill. Like the skill of manipulating your credit, building your business credit, building your personal credit. Like it's all a skill that people can learn that's going to allow them to get access to more money, right? It's a crazy thing.
And I think, I wouldn't say manipulating. I would say more like what you're doing is you're putting your best foot forward, right?
Yeah.
And I think the some people's credit is the way it is, not because of the creditors or the banks, right? It's because of the people. The individual did this to himself, right? He screwed up his personal credit. He didn't do the right things. He didn't keep his promises to the creditors or himself. And as a result, he screwed up his credit score, and he is now in a situation where he needs some kind of rehabilitation or credit repair or repair. And removing some of these items, that's not manipulation. That is basically verifying information, right? In verifying information, and information is not right in the credit report, because of something that you did or had not done, or maybe you were misunderstood that things were supposed to go a certain way, and you didn't know that they're going to be actually the way they are, and you ended up having to get some kind of negative report, like a late payment or derogatories. You're talking about collections, like we're talking about bankruptcies. Like if things happen to you in your life, those things happen because of you. And the first
Yeah.
thing is acceptance. You have to accept that, guys. Let's accept the fact that, take a moment and accept our imperfections, are the fact that we're not perfect, that we things happen in our life, that we can't control, and other things that happen. So we accept that. Once you internalize that, you now say, okay, you know what? I am not perfect. I don't have everything, and I need to learn how to how to make this right for myself and my life, so that way later on I won't have this. I won't have to go through this again. So it starts with that, it's acceptance, and then once you accept what you've done, and you don't know what you've done to yourself without realizing it, start taking action towards getting yourself out of that situation. So that way you could have a clean credit report. So that way so the creditors will see that you are a credible individual, and that they're willing to give you some money because they know that you're going to be keeping your word and you're going to pay that money back. So it starts with the credit report, and the credit report has to be legitimate. It has to be verifiable information. And as long as everything is clear and real in there, if you got a late payment years ago, and you don't want that account, you have every right. It's your right to close that account. It's your right to remove that account, so that it doesn't negatively affect your credit. You have rights. There's a reason why we have rights, right? The rights are there for us to give us the ability to allow us to be able to succeed in society, and not be homeless, and not be be a functional human in society, producing work, good work. If you wake up every morning and you don't want to do good work, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So it's like, get down, learn how to make money, be a hard worker, and you'll become rich, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
my
mean,
answer.
I was thinking the skills that I used to think were the alphas were sales and marketing and building businesses, right? I thought those were the end all be all. But now as the game progresses, I'm learning that there's levels to this shit. And I think the real skills are building systems, multiplying yourself, right? And then leveraging your time and your money. Like those are the
Absolutely.
alpha skills, like multiplying yourself is something I definitely want to get better at. Building systems, I'm pretty savage at building systems. I just need to be able to multiply myself so they run. And then leveraging money, I'm learning a lot from you. I think you're probably the king of the goat of leveraging money is Geno Nadarov. So
I
if you
love it.
guys want to learn that, like that's the
I
guy you
love
call. You
everything.
know what I mean?
I love leveraging money.
Yeah,
I love leveraging all kinds of money. Like there's I know people that leverage real estate. I know people that leverage
yeah,
credit. I know people that leverage life insurance. I like to leverage them all.
yeah, yeah,
I like to
exactly.
do it all. And then when you know them so well that you are willing to put your dollar into them, right? Like life insurance and like real estate, like marketing. Like you really you trust your system so well. You are now sold on it, and you're able to repeat yourself over and over again and use the money over and over again. You now are a master of debt. Once you become a master of debt, you will become rich. That's how it
Yeah,
works. That's basically, I will make you a master of debt. You want to make it become rich? Become a master of debt. And if you need a mentor to do that, I will promise you, you will become a master of debt if you join my program. There's no other
yeah,
way about it. Becoming a master of debt is how it made all the richest people in the world. On top of that, they had the right idea that gave them once they had the idea, then they had to just learn how to leverage other people to make that into reality.
right. And that's the skill. Because sometimes people think I always thought I had to do it all by myself, and that was
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just how it is. Though you got to learn
Coach. Yeah, you need
yeah,
help. You need help. When you have to accept you need help. That
yeah,
the
that's true
best
too.
people that make money are the ones that accept that they need help, and then they're willing to work towards getting that help, and then learning from it. And we have a lot of things that I learned from you that I'm like, wow, this is like, I didn't even know this is. You just opened up a whole new business opportunity with
Yeah,
the marketing and sales. That there's so much opportunity in this area that I have never tapped into. And it's like, I've been doing the real estate, I've been doing the debt consolidation, I've been doing the credit, the funding. I've done all that. I know all that. I've leveraged businesses or debt, I should say. I've leveraged debt on real estate. I leveraged debt in life insurances. But when it came to marketing and sales, This is a multiplier, and that's what's crazy about
Yeah.
marketing. So that it's a way to put your money to work. Another
Right.
way, and then that's how you. And then once you put your money to work, you're able to see the result, the fruition of it, and then you're able to now leverage that the money that you're making to help to employ people, to create new jobs, to help people, to to do so much more. And after after everything, because marketing and sales, they two combined together, working in harmony,
Mhm.
is the true, like, money multiplier.
Right.
And I think that's what makes people rich on top of
Mhm.
the leverage. So you got to have debt and you have to have a multiplier.
Yeah. I mean, my dream at the beginning, my whole first business was called Evergreen Tactics, and I wanted to make ads that sold courses and digital products so I could make money without having to do any work. Right. And I've been trying and chipping away at it for years. Ended up in the coaching business and service business, but
Yeah,
it's
well,
always an interesting. That's the ultimate leverage, though, with this sales and marketing. It's like someday we'll have something that fucking just crushes it and prints money, Sam Oven style. But whatever.
exactly. It's gonna
But
happen.
yeah, why don't you think that people understand leveraging money? Do you know? I was
That's a
just
good
thinking.
question.
Yeah, I was thinking once like I think even when we say like we love debt, most people have been brainwashed to think debt is a four-letter word. Like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's the first reason. But why else do you think people don't understand leveraging money? Because they're stupid.
Uh,
No, no, that's not true.
no,
They
I,
just haven't
I
had
would,
the
yeah,
chance.
I would say, and I would say the main thing is this. Watch, they, I think I learned about money because I started to realize how much it cost me to do what I was doing every single day, and I started to say, hey, like, there's no way that I can make this kind of money to be able to buy this many properties or this many
Right.
this many things that I want to do. Like I have a desire. I want to buy a house, let's say. And I'm like, how am I need like 50, $60,000
Well,
like
you
to
want to
come up.
buy a jet now. That's
I'm just, yeah, I mean,
no.
that's my next
Yeah.
goal. I've been convinced. I've been convinced. Thank you, Grant Cardone. I am now a believer. I am gonna fucking go get a jet. So at the end of the day, I will take that. I will take that every single day. So I'm shooting for different levels. But like when I first started with a house, I'm like, hey, I'll get a house. Let me get
Yeah.
a house and let me see if I can do. How much do I need? I need $60,000. I mean, I'm like, how am I gonna make $60,000? I was working a 9 to 5 job at Radio Shack, and I was like, man, I was making like $2,000 a month or something, and like back in 2000, 1990, 98, in the 2001 or something.
Yeah.
I was working. Yeah. So then, long story short, I was like, damn, like it's a long time ago. I feel old. So it's like I was doing, like, literally working a sales gig. Like, I was a sales associate working selling cell phones and selling batteries, making a little bit of money here and there and trying to save up. I had accumulated over 5 years $45,000. Took me 5 years to save $45,000, and I was like, this is not happening. This is how am I gonna ever buy a house with and the prices were going up. During the 5 years, the real estate prices had gone up every single year. So it's like I wasn't able to save enough money to buy a property at the right rate. So I had to look at properties way out of my area of interest. So then, long story short, I had to figure out a way. Right, I had to figure out a way,
Yeah.
and I realized, people don't understand how money works because they never put a goal in place that they could not accomplish, and then they have to figure out how to get the money, right?
Right.
So you got why people, they have to take the risk. First of all, understand the risk that you have. There's so much abundance in the world, but if you choose to stay in the same lane and not to take a risk on and get out of your lane, and learn something new and try to put a goal in place that you can't accomplish right now, that is why people are not growing, because they don't really realize that the stuff that they don't know is literally one book away, or like the stuff
Yeah.
that they don't know is literally like one mentor away, or one connection, one network, one connection with one person can change your life. One
Yeah.
connection, one idea, one, those are the things why, but they don't teach you that in school. And then, I'm sorry to say, I love teachers. I love my teachers. Okay, I love my teachers, but I at the end, like, they are working a job, they're getting
Yeah.
paid a salary, and they're teaching you a specific subject, whether it's science, math, history, or whatever. That's what they're doing. That's their job. They're to teach you, right? Teachers are teaching you a specific skill or a task or whatever. They're not teaching you how to make money.
Right.
Okay, they're teaching you a subject. Now that subject may be accumulation of those subjects combined creates a job title, so you can go get a job in the work marketplace and create income. But they don't teach you money, how
Right.
money works. And that's why the traditional educational school has been made for people that are going to become employees. Okay,
Yeah.
this is for the school was made for the employers, for the for the before they would ring the bell, right? In order to get everybody in the line, right? Because they was like they'll go to lunchtime, like they control you. They tell you to raise your hand to say go to the restroom. Who the hell does that, right? And yeah, right, go out and go to the restroom. So you've been educated, indoctrinated by what the information that's been given to you. You are the information that you consume.
Right.
You are that. And if you consume the wrong information, you can look at your life and you can say, this is what my life has come out to, because I've been consuming this information and nobody told me otherwise. So you need to go and get out of your range. And that's why people don't want to get out of their comfort zone and they're not willing to change, is why people are not they don't know more about money and they don't know how to make money.
Yeah, they don't know how to leverage it to make
Yeah.
themselves rich. So I mean, I think it's just like also like you said, we literally are trained to go to school because they wanted people to be able to they wanted people dumb enough to work for people, but they also wanted them smart enough to be able to not kill themselves in the factories. That's why school was started.
Yeah.
So like that's the problem. It's like education will teach you the basics, but it will never give you enough information to become your own entrepreneur, your own business owner. They'll never tell you all the secrets. They'll hold out on
self-made. You won't not be self-made.
You'll become smart enough just to become another teacher. That's about all you'll get.
Yeah. So
Whatever.
I got about maybe like a minute or two left.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you gotta jump. This is my selfish question, Gino. Do you think loans affect the credit funding? Like if I apply for a loan, do you think it'll screw up credit funding for people?
So yeah, so I personally think that loans, having a loan, it's basically having a debt, right? You're showing that you have debt. Will that affect your funding? Absolutely, because credit is credit. I get, you can have certain credit limits, credit scores, but when they look at when they pull your credit report, they're looking at your personal credit, they're looking at loans, they're looking at real estate, they're looking at collections. If you had, they're looking at everything, right? You see everything. So that when you have a loan, it could potentially affect credit because you're like, you're asking for more money. You're just asking a different form of money, right? Yeah. Credit and loans are the same thing. The only difference is credit, you don't get the money right away. You have to use it and you have to pull the money out of the line of credit. Loans are actual cash into your bank account the moment you get the loan. That loan has to be paid every single month the moment you get the money. It's two different things. Credit, you can hold it, but still, the difference is there's still debt. There's still money. And if they see that you have a credit or loan, that means you already have debt. Your credit will be, your limits are, you still might get the credit, but your limits are going to be a lot smaller because of the fact that you already got debt.
Yeah.
So that's my answer to that.
So instead of the credit cards having their own separate part, you think getting a loan, I guess it does kind of affect it because you just got a bunch of money and then you're asking them to give you a credit card, so they might look at it like that. But what if you get the loan and then pay it back? It's not a bad thing then. You just have to show that you can make pay things
you
back.
can use the money. You can use the loan to pay the credit card, for example, right? And then you can do that. But they'll still. I'm not saying they won't give you credit, but they might not get you as much. Your credit limit might be affected because your debt to income. Remember, your debt to income or your utilization, is affected in essence, right? And when your overall, your overall debt to income is what matters. If you have a lot of debt and you're not making enough money, they don't see that. On a lender will see that, but a creditor, they'll see how many credit cards they have, what's his utilization, and how much debt does he have. If he doesn't have, if he has $100,000 credit utilization or availability, his debt should be less than 30%, or they like to be around 10%. Now, if you have a loan, the loan doesn't necessarily affect the credit utilization. It's a different product line, right? If you look at the credit report, as far as I remember, the loans are not part of the overall debt on the credit utilization. Your credit cards are affected in there, right? Your loans are in a separate criteria when you look at debt. but it's still debt, and they do pull your full credit report. They don't just pull the credit part of your credit report. They pull the
Right.
full
They
credit
look at
report.
everything.
They look at everything, and if they don't, if they see that you have already a loan, they might give you the credit card, but they might give you a lower limit, and just because of the fact that they're going to look at how much loans you have versus how much credit you have.
Yeah.
So
cool. You got to jump, man.
I'll jump. I'll see you guys. Yeah, I got to go. I got an appointment, so he's probably watching me right now. Anyway,
I go do your thing, man. I'm gonna wrap it up and we'll
take care. Wrap it up, and we'll see. We're busy, so we're doing this for you guys. We're gonna continue doing it. But I gotta roll. With, my appointment landed on Wednesday. We've moved the appointment, so I'll see you guys probably next week, right? So,
yeah. All right, cool. I'm gonna keep going. Bomb. All right, let's see if I can make this look cooler. Oh, it's just my head now. All right, what's up, everybody? So we're gonna do the next one. What is a finance lesson you have learned recently? This is a good question. So the biggest lesson I'm learning right now is ruthless accounting. So it's not sexy, it's not fun. I hate it. I never thought I would be doing such hardcore number crunching, but it's the best way to understand the finances of your business and then also understand the finances of your life. I was literally listening to Jim Rohn this morning, and he was saying, if let's say you get some money, when somebody asks you, at the end of the month, like, what did you spend all your money on? He said, oh, I don't know. It all just disappears. Oh, okay, that's not the answer we want, right? Somebody who says it all just disappears. That guy should run the country, right? That guy should definitely run our business. No. You need to know where every penny goes, and you need to track what you're spending on, and you need to have a system in place that holds you accountable. And if you want to, hit your goals, becoming a ruthless accountant is going to be the best thing that you can do. Now, even if you don't have any money, if you start when you have no money and you start to, put money in savings, pay all your bills, put some money aside, be frugal, have some self-discipline so you don't just go spend all of it, you're going to be a lot better off financially than you would if you didn't do this. So that's the biggest lesson I'm learning right now, is just, especially running a big company, a big finance company, with investors and sales and employees and everything else. It's ruthlessly accounting for every dollar, and then also bringing in a third party, because what I learned is even if I do all the numbers that I think are correct, there still needs somebody else to double check my work, right? Because there's still going to be gaps, there's still going to be things. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned recently. The other thing is, to always spend most of your time focused on something that's going to have the big impact, right? Don't necessarily, like, whenever you close a deal or whenever you have something actually work out in your favor, I want it to be like a bomb went off in your bank account, like boom, and hit, not people just throwing little nickels in your bank account. Okay. Especially if you don't have enough time, your time should always be focused on the biggest opportunity and ruthlessly go after it, especially if you see promise. And once you do get those big payouts, don't stop, keep pushing yourself to the next level. Let me get rid of this banner. Let's do the last one. What do the richest people do to make their millions? That's a good question. I mean, I always think this one guy that we know in Wyoming, he literally imports screws from China, screws like nails, like little things, but he millions and billions of screws from China, and he's just the middleman. He's just the broker. And he's one of the richest people I know, just from being the middleman for screws from China. So it's always the most basic things, the most boring things. One of my other mentors, I still think about them a lot, but she actually was in Breckenridge, and she basically broadcasted TV commercials to all the hotels in Breckenridge. So then all the tourists would come from all over the country. And when you turn on the TV in a hotel and it's one of those really boring stations that just have ads for the town, well, she basically made arrangements with every single hotel in Breckenridge that they would play her channel inside of their hotels. And then she went to every business in Breckenridge and she had them pay her to broadcast it inside the hotels on the TV. And they made a crazy amount of money doing this. And I always thought that was one of the coolest things. They're still super rich, super nice people, very hard ass on businesses. I learned that from them as well. One of my good friends, Greg, in Nebraska, he came back from, I think it was Vietnam. But he basically just started he would buy cars, fix them and flip them. He did that enough to the point where he actually got a contract with the police department. He made money fixing the police department's cars, and then he used that money and he started buying trailer parks. And he started with 1 trailer, then 2 trailers, then 3 trailers, and he bought the whole park. And he became a slumlord in Nebraska. But then he went on to purchase over 50 properties, 50, and then he recently just sold all of them, and now he just lives on Lake McConaughey in Ogallala, Nebraska. And I admire that. I always thought that was a cool story, and I love that guy. Hopefully he's doing good. What else do I know? Most of the rich people that I know got rich in real estate, right? They got rich in real estate. They basically had a decent job. They invested in a bunch of crypto, and the crypto people don't seem to be super rich right now, but I know a lot of people that were super successful. And then, most of the people I know work hard, are good people. And they basically, I don't know if they got lucky, but they were at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing that suited them. And they finally had a breakthrough, right? That's how most of the people that I know got rich. All right, cool. Well, I love going live. I love talking to you guys. Feel free to shoot us a message. Check out creditleveragex.com. Tomorrow, I am going live. The Funding to Freedom webinar is Thursdays at 4 o'clock Pacific time. If you need to get more information on that, shoot me a message. It's a webinar. I'm giving you guys my funding and credit magnum opus, where I basically go over every single step of what it takes to get maximum funding, get access to capital, and then how to leverage it with us to create more money. All right. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you in the next one.